Welcome to the Music Retail Show. Fun, engaging, educational conversations for the musical instrument community. The Music Retail Show is brought to you by MIRC LLC, providing solutions for the musical instrument community by being a reliable source for diverse music products. If you need inventory for your music store, pawn shop, or e-commerce site, go to mircweb.com to find out more.
Man, hey, we are back for another episode of the Music Retail Show, and man, I'm sitting here with Squiggy. He is a guy that I met about a year and a half ago at Winter NAMM.
Yes, sir.
And man, it's pretty awesome to be able to sit down and talk with you again. How you doing?
Oh, great, man. This is a blast, man. So
yeah.
I'm stoked to be here for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Summer NAMM, man, it's got a different feel. This year's got a little bit different of a feel, but everybody's telling me right now they're so glad they came because it was a time to hang out and catch up with people.
Yeah, I mean, I always call Summer NAMM putting the band back together. You know, Summer NAMM obviously not as big as Winter NAMM, but still pretty rad.
Yeah.
We get to spend more time with manufacturers. Winter NAMM is just such a hustle and bustle. Here you actually get to spend some time, and not have 10 guys waiting to take your turn in line.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we get the band back together, man, every year in Nashville.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, did you have some people that you were planning on connecting with while you were here? Maybe get a little bit work done?
Yeah, so this was the first year, man, that I made 0 appointments.
Oh, really?
Right? And it was just because I wanted to come and hang.
Yeah.
Right? I figured I'd wander, I'd run into a bunch of friends. And, once I got here, meetings kind of started to happen. Like, hey, we'll come back at this time and this time. But now, man, I came into here, man, just stoked to be around my friends again.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, I got to bring it up. You got to go out and see MIRC.
I did.
Jason took you for a ride out there. So what'd you think of that?
I mean, I've known of MIRC for a long time.
Okay.
Always been a fan of the business model. I never been there. So I had no frame of reference to what I was about to go see. And then when I found out that Jason took it over, I was just like, it's going to be paradise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it was before. I don't know the old regime or whatever, right? But when I was there today, man, I saw happy employees. I saw an amazing process.
Yeah.
Just from start to finish, from first touch to being sent out.
Yeah.
I met the sales folks, man. I met some warehouse folks. And like I said, man, everybody was so rad.
Yeah.
It's such a well-oiled machine. And I probably a testament to Jason. The culture there is probably what I was the most impressed with. You know.
The culture has been something that has been worked on for a long time. It means a lot to everybody there. I think you saw everybody enjoys working there because the culture's right. People feel safe. They feel happy. They enjoy what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I think MIRC is a great company purely because we get to recycle guitars. We get to take guitars that maybe weren't going to make it.
Right.
Bring them up to standard and sell a quality used guitar to music stores and eBayers and other online retailers and even pawn shops and mom and pop shops where maybe they can't get big franchises and things like that. So, man, we love it there.
Yeah, I mean, I spent my early career in pawn shops. I worked there. So, yeah, it's really cool to have access to the breadth of guitars, but also like the super rad brands. Like I said, I always kind of knew that was kind of the model, but it just feels like it's the right business for the right time in the right place with the right guy at leadership, and I think with Jason, it's going to just continue to flourish because that's who he is and that's how he runs his ship, and he's an amazing guy, man, to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, you know what I just thought of? You play golf, don't you?
I do, very much so.
Yeah, did I see a picture of you and Tim Coletti playing golf?
Yes. Oh yeah, Tim's a super homie, man.
Yeah, man, dude. That's cool. I loved golf. I grew up playing golf, and in fact, I tried to be a golf pro for a little while in my earlier career.
No way.
But that's pretty cool, man. So do you try to play as much as you can, or what?
I do, man. I play twice a week.
Do you really?
I do, man. And,
I'm jealous.
So every NAMM, we have kind of our NAMM golf crew that I don't know if you know Kenny Stanton. But
down in Atlanta, Georgia.
In Atlanta.
Okay.
So Kenny's like, I would say like he's my BFF. You know what I mean? Like we're like the Felix and Oscar, of today, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's like, how the fuck do you guys know each other, let alone like friends, But yeah, man. So like we'll go out a week early at Winter NAMM, come out 4 or 5 days early for Summer NAMM, and we just have our golf outings.
Yeah. Are you good?
Well, nobody's really good, right? It's right. So like anybody that says I'm good at golf, you're like, well, you'd be on TV. So
yeah.
But no, man, we go out, man, and I can hack my way through.
Yeah.
But man, I know that, being scratch is just not in my DNA. I've accepted that, right?
Yeah.
I've accepted that my body will not hit a draw, right? Right. So like, there's certain things that I've accepted.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, we all think we can. Every time I go to the range, I'm like, maybe this is the round I'd nail that draw.
Yeah.
Or but it's my favorite thing to do in life. It's my happy place.
Yeah.
And actually probably a cool time to plug the new thing we have going on.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
So me and the drummer of Steel Panther, Styx, we have a golf show.
Do you really?
We do. We just shot the pilot episode. It's called 5 Holes in a Sandwich. And
this is the best thing ever.
So our pilot episode that we just shot, we had Rob Riggle in it, the actor. We had Steph Carpenter from the Deftones.
Really?
We had then myself and Styx. And literally, man, it's just like being a fly on the wall with a foursome. We shot it at Rustic Canyon in Thousand Oaks, which is a gorgeous course.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's rooted in the love of golf.
Yeah.
Like even though we're all, degenerates, but like we do love the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that's the commonality with everything. We love the game. We respect the game. We aspire to be better.
Yeah.
And so we have rock stars or actors or whatever on there, and we just want to talk about golf.
Yeah.
Right? And there's good banter for 5 holes. It's 5 competitive holes of golf. Winner gets to pick whatever sort of bizarre sandwich he wants to eat with everybody.
Okay.
And then, that's where we kind of shoot the shit, like while we're playing the 5 holes of competitive golf, it's golf banter, it's golf talking shit,
Mm-hmm.
But, we're not there talking about anybody's new record, anybody's new movie. We really don't care about that shit. What we want to talk about is like, it's like, today, last night you were a gigantic rock star, right? Which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But like today you're the guy that can't drain a 6-foot putt.
That's right. That's right.
And it's kind of, I'm in the same way, I have all these visions of grandeur. These guys are actually on stage.
Mm-hmm.
I have dreams of being on stage, right? So we're the same. And then we both get to the golf course.
Yeah.
And it's the greatest equalizer. It's like today it doesn't matter. Like the white ball just does not give a shit what you do for a living.
Right.
It just does not care.
You think you're good at life? Go play golf.
Exactly. Yeah, you're going to pay a lot of money to fucking feel horrible about yourself, Like, I wish somebody would have just been...
This is it. This is life right here, man.
I wish somebody would have said, hey, man, you're starting to play golf. Here's what you should do. Just sit at home for 4 hours and punch yourself in the balls. and that'll be about how you feel after 18 holes, right?
Yeah, that's
You'll
right.
just go,
but you know what?
You'll look forward to the next time.
Yeah, but you know what about golf is you literally like punch yourself in the nuts for 17 holes.
Yeah.
And then the 18th hole,
without a doubt,
you hit a great shot. You hit it on the green, and you knock in that birdie putt, and you go, I got to come back and do it again.
That's how much pricks the golf gods are.
Yeah.
Right. The golf gods are such a nasty bunch of fucking people, dude. Right. It's like it's assholes and scorned women. You know what I mean? And like they just hate everything about you, right? And God forbid you get a birdie. It's almost like they're like, how the fuck did he do that? And then it's like birdie, triple bogey.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
that's the golf gods going like, settle down. You felt too good about yourself for too long. So yeah, and if you get an eagle, I mean, you might as well wear a rubber helmet and a suit, Yeah, tell them what's going to happen to you. Yeah,
that's great. In fact, actually, I love watching golf. I've watched it. I've played golf my entire life, and we were watching a lot. We watched, obviously, watched the Masters. We watched Phil win the championship, and then John Rahm. won the Open. And it's so funny is my sons, we go out and play golf a little bit. I'm teaching them how to play golf, but they have no concept of the pressure. So when they see these pro on TV and it's a 2.5-foot putt and they lip it out and they miss it, they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I missed it. And you're like, no, you don't understand the pressure that is on you to go. Your eyes start not seeing it right. You think there's a bend and there's not, and you're right. It's like pure torture to stand over a putt that you think you should make 10 out of 10 times and you miss it.
You'll make it 5 out of 10.
That's right.
Best case scenario.
Yeah.
I kind of have my own theory about like why metal guys or rock stars play golf. It's definitely kind of like why I think was the root of why I started playing. It's like, what's the most opposite? Well, so metal guys in particular, like we're extremists, right? Mm-hmm. We play extreme music, extreme rebellion, extreme fuck you, right? And the opposite of being that in front of 50,000 people, the other extreme is golf.
Yeah.
Right? So we play extremes, right? So it makes sense when you look at it that way. Like these extreme guys do this. Yeah. And honestly, man, that's why like a lot of golfers, they love fucking metal.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a two-way street.
Golf has finesse and you got to be precision and a lot of things like that kind of bring it. And you have to take it to extreme to really kind of compete on that level.
Exactly.
So,
and you got to practice hard at both.
So when is this show coming out? And how's it? How can one watch it?
So it'll be done editing in about 3 weeks.
Okay.
We are in negotiations right now with some streaming services.
Okay.
Or we can always just say fuck it and put it out ourselves. You know? Like put it out on the the interwebs ourselves. So we don't know, man. We kind of made like a PG version and an R version, and then the we don't give a fuck version, right? So we'll see which one takes off.
So what else you guys got going on?
Well, we're doing festivals this year.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Which is
they were all canceled last year.
All canceled. Yeah. And up until very recently, we thought they were canceled for this year too, but they went on sale because the country opened up, right? Yeah. So we put it on sale, and they've sold out in 2 weeks. Aftershock is like 40,000 people a day, times 4 days, sold out in 2 weeks.
Unbelievable. Okay.
So it's like
that's great. People want to get out.
Yeah, man. So it's stoked. Louder Than Life is the same way, and Welcome to Rockville at Daytona Speedway is the same as well.
Okay. Who's headlining?
Metallica. 2 nights.
2 nights. Mm-hmm. Okay. Awesome.
So some of them have Metallica, 9 Inch Nails, Metallica. And then the 4th night is like a revolving door. Disturbed, I believe, is on one of them.
Man, I just think it's amazing. Metallica is still killing it after all this time, man. They're just a smoking band, and you have to have a lot of respect for those guys.
Dude, and they do it at such a high level. Mm-hmm. When I was growing up, Sabbath was kind of, that was my, that's why I loved metal. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then, Metallica is a lot of kids' Sabbath.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, Metallica's responsible for a lot of players today, because it's just generational. And, there'll be another Metallica, right? Mm-hmm. Who knows who they are or when they'll show up. But there'll be another one. And then they'll be the Sabbath of that generation.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. I still remember, man, the Injustice for All album was my introduction to Metallica. I mean, album was it was killer. The first time I heard it, I was just like, what is this thing? You know? And I just started learning how to play guitar, and I didn't understand, like, how did you get that sound, that rhythm, that aggressiveness? And I remember another guy at school showed me how to play the riff, the opening riff on One, and I just thought I was awesome. I thought it was awesome when I could play that. So, but then it got to the tough parts, and I couldn't play that yet. But man, they will always have a place in my heart, man, because it was instrumental in just opening up music to me.
Yeah, man. I love the fact that the most fuck you thrash band, in my opinion, is now like one of the biggest bands in the world.
Yes.
Right? I love that. Like literally the quintessential go fuck yourself brand is now this I mean, they're inspiring players and doing, and the music's still aggressive and it's still culturally relevant. You know? So I've seen them a bunch of times. I'm excited to see them 6 more times at these festivals.
Yeah, absolutely. So would you agree with me that Kill 'Em All was their best album?
Man, I don't. This is one of those questions, man, that like, you know, I don't think the rabbit hole's big enough for all of us, you know. But
I mean that album is this now. And Justice for All brought me into the whole conversation. But Kill 'Em All. When I went back and heard that album, man, just 1983, the aggressiveness that was on that, man, a bunch of young dudes who all they wanted to do was obviously conquer the world. They wanted to play faster. They wanted to play louder than anybody else. And that's all that was. And you can feel that come off that album. That album is my favorite. Everything, they're all masterpieces in their own right. But that album,
I mean, I love the record. Obviously, I like disruption. Right? Like I'm a huge fan of disruptive behavior. You know, whether it's musically or whatever. And so it's probably one of my favorite disruptor records of any genre. You know, it was so disruptive, and then they got that momentum, and then they just never took their foot off the pedal. You know, so I love it for its disruptive value. But you know, I'm definitely more of a master. No.
Master Puppets? No, I get it. I get it. I
maybe Ride the Lightning, you know.
That same aggressiveness was there.
I thought the last record fucking hardwired, dude. I thought dude, I thought it was fucking great. You know, like there's people like shitting on it and then you're like what the fuck did you think it was gonna be?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, dude?
Did Rick Rubin produce that?
You know, I don't know.
Oh, I can't remember. But that was them trying to, I don't know, but that was like kind of a little bit of that older feel coming back. They wanted to kind of explore their original roots a little bit, and I thought it came out very well.
Dude, that record is incredible.
Yeah.
That record is so amazing. And you know, as a testament to the band, it's how good they are where they can do that and then they go play with a symphony.
Yes.
And it can be
Which I thought
equally
that
as
was
awesome.
A great album.
Awesome. That's what I mean. Like I don't know. Like I'm just such a fan of it. They all blur together. Where I'm just like, this is one of the greatest bands that, at least in my generation, probably till I grow old, that I'm ever going to see.
Yeah, man. I can still lay in bed at night and I pull up videos of them playing Harvester of Sorrow and Blackened, and I don't know. I don't know if it's just nostalgic for me because that's when they hit. But all of that whole album and all of that, I just think it's Freight Ends of Sanity. That was a great song on that album. But man, that's great. So they're headlining, and how many shows are there?
We're only going to do 3 this year.
3, okay.
So Aftershock in Sacramento. Louder Than Life in Louisville.
Yeah.
And then Welcome to Rockville and Daytona at the Speedway.
Okay. But a lot of what you do also. You're into education and providing musical instruments for younger people and everything like that. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing there.
Well, at our core, we just want more people to pick up instruments, right? That's really our core belief. Go to where the people are, create a very inspirational environment. Let the brands. My job is to elevate the brands. To make sure that Fender is represented as Leo's story. Eric Clapton and all those guys are characters in Leo's story. And anybody can be a character in Leo's story. If you play a Fender, Telly, like you're a character now in Leo's story, just like John 5 or just like Eric Clapton. So we try to do that narrative, and we try to educate young people on like redefining the term making it. Right. People think, and parents are probably the most. They're definitely the worst at it. Where they go, only 1% of people make it in music business, right? And all this other dumbass shit that these fucking parents tell them, and we go in there and we're like, well, let's redefine this, right? You're gonna meet, we'll do a panel where it's like we're going to meet an accountant for a band, for Band X. We're going to meet the promoter of the festivals. We're going to meet a manager, and usually somebody from the instrument industry is like a CEO or something. It's like, these people fucking made it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they're not the people on stage, right? But like, they made it. So our job is to get parents to stop telling their kids that they can't make it in the music business and telling kids that they can. And it's okay to be rebellious. It's okay to tell people to go fuck themselves, right? Like, it's okay, right? Just whatever's inside of you. And kids are angry, like kids have so much pinned up aggression, and when they don't know where to put it is when bad shit happens, right? Yeah. So, we want to basically say, look, we all have felt the way you felt. Pick up a guitar, or pick up a bass, or pick up some drumsticks, or whatever, and let music save them like it saved all of us.
Yeah.
We were all angry kids. We all hated authority, still do. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Like it's okay to be that.
Now, when you say we, forgive me, Squiggy, when you say we, who are you referring to as far as who do you work with?
Just my team, the music experience team.
Yeah, okay.
My wife, Sarah, she's probably, truthfully, she's way more important in music experience than I am, right? But I have the much bigger mouth, right? So I go and get talk shit everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, just our whole team is so dialed into like what our core values are, and why we're there, and our mantra is we want to turn inspirables into players and players into fanatics. If we can do that, right, like we're good.
Yeah.
And the brand's telling their stories, and we're not a sales environment. I believe that if you convey a good inspirational environment, and you convey safety, right? That yes, you can pick up a guitar here, and a person from the brand talks with you, that you should never have to ask for the sale. They'll ask to buy.
Sure.
Right? Mm-hmm. And by not trying to sell instruments, we sell more than most music stores do on a weekend.
Man, my gosh. And do you have relationships with these guitar companies that support you in this?
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, we've had some great supporters. ESP's been great. Fender's been great. Gibson's been great. Have
you ever met Jeff Moore over at? Okay, you're laughing of course I have.
I consider Jeff one of my mentors.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, man.
I had the pleasure of doing an episode with him, and it was great. He's a wonderful human. Him and Jason are extremely tight. Yeah. And
we're both Philly boys.
Yeah, so. A wonderful human being he is. Yeah. So, but
he made it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we just need to convey those kind of stories, that a national sales manager makes a pretty good damn living, at a guitar company. And we also like to support the smaller brands, right? So I love the guys at Zemaitis.
Yeah.
Just great
Those
guys.
guitars are great.
They're awesome. Spectre being just the bass line.
Spectre basses.
All the Korg brands have been just incredible. We've had some really good partners.
Yeah.
And some not so good ones, and they're not with us anymore. So,
okay. And you incorporate a lot of this, what you're doing with the festivals that you're doing, right?
We're a partnership with the festivals, a direct partnership.
And there are aspects at the festivals where they can find out more about what's going on?
So with our student experience, our redefining making it, after we have the panel and they get to have the experience to themselves, not competing with attendees, we'll do a backstage tour. And then, we're like, that's what we were just talking about, that guy right there. And, that's what we're talking about. And we make it tangible, So, the backstage tour is pretty important, too.
Yeah. So do you have any, and it doesn't need to be specifics, but do you have any good success stories that have come out of some young people?
I do. I have a great one. There's 3 sisters from Jacksonville. They're called Gold, Frankincense, and Myrrh. They're a Christian metal band.
Okay.
But they're a trio, and they're all sisters, right? And I think one of them is I'm gonna fuck this up, but one's 20, one's 19, and one's 17.
Okay.
Right? The drummer is the youngest. And they came in student experience. I met them, just fell in love with them. They're such. They're a great band, but they're such good people, like human beings.
Yeah.
That I just felt so drawn to them, and they were like, hey, we're making a CD, and they came back and gave it to me at the next year's Rockville.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with it, and I fell in love with them, and in helping them as more of a big brother kind of thing.
Yeah.
I kept my promise, like if you come through student experience, and I will help you. And now they're on festivals all across the country.
Yeah.
And they're fantastic.
Yeah, and still in that belief that they can be it, they can make it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
And they're such a unique story because they're sisters, and they're good, and they're young, right? And they play such aggressive music. I mean, it's Christian music, but it's pretty fuck you too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely. No, man. That sounds great, man. I mean, being able to support young people, support their dreams, at an early age.
We have to.
I think you have to. I remember I wanted to play guitar so bad, and I got my first electric guitar, and my buddy Rob, he was learning to play drums. This was all like in 10th grade. And Rob goes, hey, you should come over to the house. Let's jam, man. And I said, yeah, that sounds great. I was like 15. I wasn't old enough to drive, so I had to ask my mom to take me over to his house to play. And I remember my dad, going, I love my dad. So this is done. But it was just like you were talking about. And I said, Dad, I'm going to go over and play at Rob's house. He asked me to come over and play. We're going to start a rock band. And my dad was like, no, you're not. It's like, it's like, rock band, that means rebellion, that means, all these things. But the problem is like rock bands, in my opinion, were the epitome of coolness. I mean, it was like what you wanted to do. You wanted to feel that and play that, and it was crazy. So I went over there and played with him, and I didn't know what I was doing. He didn't know what we were doing, but we made noise for about 2 hours, and we thought we were awesome.
Hell yeah, dude.
Dude,
a guitar player is still the coolest thing on the planet.
Yeah.
Right? Like in 20 years, they'll still know who Jimi Hendrix is.
Yeah.
Nobody will give a fuck about Lil Wayne or any of these guys, right? So like because Jimi Hendrix, he's a fucking guitar player. He's
that's right.
like, that's what he does. They're going to give a shit in 20 years about Dave Grohl and still the Beatles and all that shit. I mean, rappers that are like 10 years old, nobody gives a fuck about them anymore. Right? So like, you want to be eternal. You want your grandkids to know who you were. You be a fucking guitar player.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe a lead singer, but definitely guitar player.
We don't acknowledge lead singers.
That's right.
We don't acknowledge them.
We just play over top of when they sing. So that's cool. So what else you got going on?
No, man, I'm just...
Which is a lot, what you're doing.
Yeah. Just trying to give kids, man, at festivals a real safe spot to be rebellious, and where it's safe and it's controlled rebellion,
Sure.
That's the most important thing for me, is like with the kids, I get to talk to like the 10-year-old version of myself, or the 12-year-old version of myself. It's like, it's, you always hear people say like, if I only knew then what I know now, right?
Yeah.
Well, like, I kind of get to do that, I kind of get to take what I know now and tell these kids all of it that I wish somebody would have told me when I was 12 years old. Like, if I would have went to a festival and met Nikki Sixx, right? Like, my life would have probably turned out different. I'd have probably been more inspired to play music earlier and took it more seriously and all this. So I want kids to meet rock stars. To show that like they're not aliens. They don't come from another planet. They don't have yellow blood, and all this shit. Like, they're just like you, except they practiced. And, I do believe, man, that 1% thing is bullshit. I don't pay any attention to that. But like, if you're really good and you surround yourself with really good players, something will happen. I believe everybody will get the chance, if you're good, at success. Now, whether you take that chance or not, right? That's up to you. But if you're extremely good, talented, you will get the opportunity. Right? And if you're not famous, it's probably because you fucked up one of the opportunities. Right?
Well, the encouragement is the big part too, because fear a lot of times is one of the big things that keeps people from trying things. And I remember Slash in an interview years and years, probably in 94, 95, he said, what advice would you give to any young guitar player? And he said, never turn down a gig. He goes, I don't care if you don't know what it is, don't know how to play it. Right. He says, never turn down a gig because you don't know what's going to come from that. And, and there's a lot of times I said yes to things where I had no clue what I was doing, but I made it through, but I still think that that's good advice. I still think being prepared is good, but I think it's good advice. We have to get the fear out of the way so you can chase those dreams.
Well, honestly, I do that even to this day. Look, I'm not saying it's easy is a relative term in what I'm about to say, right? It's easier to get in front of 50,000 people and feel the adrenaline.
Yeah.
Right? I want to go see you play in front of 10 people.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
Right? I want to see you play in front of 5 people.
That's right.
And then I want to see if I get the same show. Right? And I know there's a lot of people like that because that's the character build, Do you actually give a shit about the 10 people that are at the show?
That's right.
Or are you just phoning it in?
That's right.
And you play every show like you're in front of 100,000 people or 50,000 people.
Yeah.
I just rather see people in small clubs.
Yeah. That's very cool. And actually, going back to what you said back earlier, man, I think that's cool. Trent Reznor, Nine Inch Nails are, playing again, touring as much as they possibly can.
Yeah, man. What's great for us is it allows us, our instruments have to be reflective of what is on stage, right? So with Trent, it's Trent Reznor. We're able to bring keyboards in and synthesizers now, and different knobby things and weird shit that makes noises and shit, because it's relevant to the show. So that's what I like about it. Having Nine Inch Nails on the show allows me to have a wider breadth of product categories.
Yeah, absolutely. More ways to inspire younger people to be creative.
Absolutely.
So that's very cool, man. Dude, that's cool. I mean, the stuff that you do is cool, and I'm jealous you get to play golf all the time. I've got to see this. I got to see the show that you're on. So
I will send you an edited version of it.
Oh, right? I would love it.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's fun, dude. Like golf. If I could be a full-time hack golfer, I'd do that, but that doesn't pay the bills.
Is that a real job? Is that a job? I would do that.
Yeah, it pays shitty, by the way. Right?
Yeah.
It's real shitty pay.
Actually, I knew a few guys that were always trying to make it on the lower tours, like the Nike tour back, this was years ago. And the amount of time and effort and work they put in for what they potentially get paid, you have to have, back then you have to have endorsements to just even make sure you can eat some food while you're traveling around these golf tournaments. But if there was a way to play golf for a living, man, I'm telling you, I know there is, but if there was, man, I'm telling you what.
But I think that's the commonality too, right? Like it's passion on either side, right? Like these guys that are playing like the Corn Ferry, like those guys have to love the game.
Yes, they
do. Because, that hope of making it to the show, is the same thing as like a band trying to make it. There's really a lot of commonality in it, Golf is a little probably more easy to manage because you can tour in a fucking Honda, you know what I mean?
That's
and
right.
you don't have to put up with a bunch of fucking assholes in your band, But like, travel's much cheaper than a band, but it's passion. It's passion either way,
Well, man, I really appreciate it, man.
I love this.
Ian and I, man, we love what you do.
Thank
you, man. The Music Retail Show. Oh, I thought that was falling over. The Music Retail Show, man, if there's anything we can ever do,
man.
To help you out, we'd love to do that. Just be a part of what you're doing. Whether it's just catching up and you want to talk about some stuff.
Yeah.
Man, we appreciate that a ton. So
yeah, Jason and I are talking about some things that we can do together.
Love it.
But worst case scenario, man, I'll see you guys at Winter Nam and I'll talk even more shit. You guys just figure out what you guys want to talk about and I'll fucking vomit bad words.
Well, if there's ever a time, I don't know if there's ever a time we can try to play golf together, man, I would absolutely be in.
Yeah, never have to twist my arm. So, I come to Nashville a couple times a year if I can.
Okay.
So, yeah, next time I come, man, we'll go play. So I've only played Hermitage and I've only played Opryland.
Okay.
Right? Which are pretty good courses, I like. But, yeah, man, I'm down to travel. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a course down by There's by down where I live. In fact, it's right down the street. They just got bought out by a new company, but it's called Toei. And they're actually building a new clubhouse there, but it'd be a pretty fun course. It's an Arnold Palmer course. So it gets a little tough at times, but it's not too bad. It's fun to play.
Let's do it, man.
Yeah, man, I'd love to.
All righty, man.
Dude,
thanks for having us, man.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, we'll catch up next time.
Can't wait to talk shit again.
That's right. Thanks, man.
Thanks for listening to the Music Retail Show.